Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Science Today. In today's programme, we're going to hear about women inventors. When we think of famous inventors, we usually think of men, people like Alexander Graham Bell, Guglielmo Marconi, Thomas Edison. But, as Sally will tell us, many of the things which make our lives easier today were invented by women.
That's absolutely right. Let's take the dishwasher, for example. This was invented by a woman called Josephine Cochrane in 1886. She was a rich American who gave a lot of dinner parties. But she was annoyed that her servants used to break plates and glasses when they were washing up after a party. So, Josephine decided to try and invent a machine which could wash a lot of plates and glasses safely. Apparently, she said, "If nobody else is going to invent a dishwasher, then I will." She designed the machine, and then she found a company to make it. At first, only hotels and restaurants bought Josephine's new machine. But today, the dishwasher is used by millions of people all over the world. The car was invented by a man. But it was a woman, Mary Anderson, who in 1903 solved one of the biggest problems of driving. Until her invention, it was impossible for drivers to see where they were going when it was raining or snowing. They had to open their window. The name of Mary's invention? Windscreen wipers. An invention that definitely improved the lives of millions of people was disposable nappies. They were invented by a woman called Marion Donovan. Her father and uncle were inventors, and when she had young children, she sat down and invented a nappy that you could use and then throw away. Anybody who has a small baby will know what a big difference disposable nappies make to our lives. But although she invented it in 1950, it wasn't until 1961 that an American company bought Marion's idea. Today, millions of disposable nappies are used every day, and Marion's invention has been made more eco-friendly. Now you can buy biodegradable nappies. And now to our next inventor. In 1956, Betty Naismith Graham was working as a secretary. Like all secretaries at that time, she used to get very frustrated and angry when she made typing mistakes. In those days, if you made a mistake, you had to get a new sheet of paper and start again from the beginning. Then she had a brilliant idea, which was to use a white liquid to paint over mistakes. Her invention is called Tipp-Ex today. Mrs. Graham was a divorced mother, and her invention made her a very rich woman. Her son, Mike Naismith, became a famous pop star. He was a member of the American group, the Monkees. And finally, policemen, soldiers, and politicians all over the world are protected by something which was invented by a woman. In 1966, Stephanie Kwolek invented Kevlar, a special material which was very light but incredibly strong, much stronger than metal. This material is used to make bulletproof vests. Stephanie's invention has probably saved thousands of lives.
Thanks very much, Sally. So, if you thought that everything was invented by men, think again.
Kevlar is used to make bulletproof vests.
Tipp-Ex isn't used very much today.
Are disposable nappies used all over the world?
The dishwasher was invented by Josephine Cochrane.
Windscreen wipers weren't invented until 1903.
When was the washing machine invented?
Shower. Sh. Dishwasher. Invention. Special. Washing machine.
dog. Called. Designed. Discovered. Used.
Tie. Based. Produced.
Id. Created. Directed. Invented. Painted.
1.
The washing machine was invented in the USA.
2.
These photos were taken with an iPhone.
3.
This wine is produced near here.
4.
Who was the film directed by?
5.
Who were those pictures painted by?
6.
The cash machine wasn't invented until 1967.
One of the most famous logos in the world is the Nike logo. It was designed by an American student, Carolyn Davidson, in 1971. Miss Davidson was only paid $35 for her design. However, she was later given a gold ring in the shape of the logo and Nike shares. Tinned food was invented in 1810 in Britain by Peter Durand. Unfortunately, he did not also invent a tin opener, so tins were opened with difficulty using a knife and a hammer. It wasn't until nearly 50 years later that the American Ezra Warner invented the tin opener. When people at toy company Parker Brothers were first shown the board game Monopoly, they were not interested. They said it had 52 fundamental errors, including taking too long to play. However, a few days later, the company president saw the game and took it home to try it. He stayed up until 1 a.m. to finish playing it, and the next day he wrote to the inventor, Charles Darrow, and offered to buy it. The modern game of golf was invented in Scotland in the 18th century. It was originally only played by men and was called golf because of the rule, gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. This is how the word golf entered into the English language. Botox was first used in 1985 to correct strabismus, lazy eye, in children. The possibility of using it to make people's faces look younger was only discovered 20 years later. The character Gregory House in the hit TV series House MD is based on Conan Doyle's detective Sherlock Holmes. Like Holmes, House uses his intelligence and knowledge of psychology to solve cases. House's relationship with his friend Dr. James Wilson is similar to that between Holmes and his friend, Dr. John Watson, and the address on his driving licence is 221B Baker Street, a direct reference to Holmes's address.